A random miscellaneous dictionary. A. Acrophobia, fear of heights. Agoraphobia, fear of open spaces or crowded public places. Amicable, characterized by goodwill and friendliness. Antebellum, occurring or existing before a war, especially the American Civil War. Arbitrary, based on random choice or personal whim, rather than any reason or system. Ardent, enthusiastic or passionate. Ascetic, a person who practices severe self-discipline and abstention from worldly pleasures. Atheist, a person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of God or gods. Auspicious, conducive to success, favorable. B. Belligerent, hostile and aggressive. Benevolent, well-meaning and kindly. Bizarre, very strange or unusual. Bucolic, relating to the pleasant aspects of the countryside and country life. Bureaucracy, a system of government in which most of the important decisions are made by state officials rather than by elected representatives. C. Cacophony, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Candid, truthful and straightforward. Capricious, given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. Cataclysm, a large-scale and violent event in the natural world or in human history. Catharsis, the process of releasing and thereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions. Cerebral, relating to the brain or intellect. Chicanery, the use of trickery to achieve a political, financial, or legal purpose. Clandestine, kept secret or done secretively, especially because illicit. Cogent, clear, logical, and convincing. D. Debacle, a sudden and ignominious failure, a fiasco. Deleterious, causing harm or damage. Deluge, a severe flood. Demagogue, a political leader who seeks support by appealing to popular desires and prejudices rather than by using rational argument. Dichotomy, a division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. Dilapidated, in a state of disrepair or ruin as a result of age or neglect. Discombobulate, confuse or disconcert. Disparate, essentially different in kind, not allowing comparison. Dogma, a principle or set of principles laid down by an authority as incontrovertibly true. E. Eccentric, unconventional and slightly strange. Egalitarian, believing in or based on the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. Egregious, outstandingly bad, shocking. Eloquent, fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. Emulate, match or surpass a person or achievement, typically by imitation. Endemic, of a disease or condition regularly found and present in a particular area or population. Enigma, a person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. Ephemeral, lasting for a very short time.
F. Facetious, treating serious issues with deliberately inappropriate humor. Flippant. Fastidious, very attentive to and concerned about accuracy and detail. Fatuous, silly and pointless. Fickle, changing frequently, especially as regards one's loyalties, interests, or affection. Fictitious, not real or true, imaginary or fabricated. Flippant, not showing a serious or respectful attitude. Flummox, perplex someone, greatly bewilder. Forthright, of a person or their manner or speech, direct and outspoken, straightforward and honest. G. Galvanize, shock or excite someone, typically into taking action. Garish, obtrusively bright and showy, lurid. Garrulous, excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters.
H. Hackneyed, lacking significance through having been overused, unoriginal and trite. Hapless, unfortunate and deserving of pity. Haughty, arrogantly superior and disdainful. Hedonist, a person who believes that pleasure is the chief goal of life. Hegemony, leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others. Hypocrite, a person who pretends to have virtues, moral or religious beliefs, principles, etc., that he or she does not actually possess. Iconoclast, a person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutions. Idiosyncrasy, a mode of behavior or way of thought peculiar to an individual. Illicit, forbidden by law, rules, or custom. Imminent, about to happen. Impervious, unable to be affected by. Implacable, unable to be appeased or pacified. Inane, lacking sense or meaning, silly. Incendiary, tending to stir up conflict, inflammatory. J. Jaded, tired, bored, or lacking enthusiasm, typically after having too much of something. Juxtapose, place or deal with close together for contrasting effect. Jovial, cheerful and friendly. judicious having, showing, or done with good judgment or sense. K. Kafkaesque characteristic or reminiscent of the oppressive or nightmarish qualities of Franz Kafka's fictional world. Kinetic relating to motion. Kudos praise and honor received for an achievement. L. Lament a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Languid slow and relaxed lacking energy or enthusiasm. Lethargic feeling sluggish and lacking energy. Litigious prone to engaging in lawsuits. Loquacious tending to talk a great deal talkative. Lucid expressed clearly easy to understand. M. Maelstrom a powerful whirlpool in the sea or a river. Magnanimous very generous or forgiving, especially toward a rival or someone less powerful than oneself. Malevolent having or showing a wish to do evil to others. Malleable able to be hammered or pressed into shape without breaking or cracking easily influenced or changed. Maverick an unorthodox or independent-minded person. Melancholy a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. Mendacious not telling the truth lying. Mercurial subject to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind. N. Narcissistic having an excessive or erotic interest in oneself and one's physical appearance. Nefarious typically of an action or activity wicked or criminal. Neologism a newly coined word or expression. Nihilism the rejection of all religious and moral principles, often in the belief that life is meaningless. Nirvana a state of perfect happiness, an ideal or idyllic place. Noxious harmful, poisonous, or very unpleasant. Nostalgia a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past. O. Obdurate stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or course of action. Obfuscate make obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Oblivious not aware of or not concerned about what is happening around one. Obsequious obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. Obtuse annoyingly insensate. Of outstanding excellence or talent. Pariah an outcast. Parochial having a limited or narrow outlook or scope. Parsimonious unwilling to spend money or use resources, stingy or frugal. Pathos a quality that evokes pity or sadness. Peculiar strange or odd unusual. Pedantic overly concerned with minor details or academic formality. Penchant a strong or habitual liking for something or tendency to do something. Perfidious deceitful and untrustworthy. Perfunctory carried out with a minimum of effort or reflection. Peripatetic traveling from place to place, especially working or based in various places for relatively short periods. Pernicious having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Pertinacious holding firmly to an opinion or course of action. Petulant childishly sulky or bad-tempered. Phlegmatic having an unemotional and calm disposition. Pious devoutly religious. Placate make someone less angry or hostile. Platitude a remark or statement, especially one with a moral content, that has been used too often to be interesting or thoughtful. Plausible seeming reasonable or probable. Plethora a large or excessive amount of something. Poignant evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. Ponderous slow and clumsy because of great weight. Pragmatic dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. Precarious not securely held or in position dangerously likely to fall or collapse. Predilection a preference or liking for something, a bias in favor of something. Preeminent surpassing all others, very distinguished in some way. Prevaricate speak or act in an evasive way. Priggish self-righteously moralistic and superior. Prodigious remarkably or impressively great in extent, size, or degree. Profligate recklessly extravagant or wasteful in the use of resources. Profound of a state, quality, or emotion very great or intense. Prolific producing many works, results, or offspring. Propensity and inclination or natural tendency to behave in a particular way. Prosaic lacking poetic beauty, unromantic. Proscribe forbid, especially by law. Protean tending or able to change frequently or easily. Puerile childishly silly and trivial. Pugnacious eager or quick to argue, quarrel, or fight. Punctilious showing great attention to detail or correct behavior. Pusillanimous showing a lack of courage or determination, timid. Pyrrhic of a victory won at too great a cost to have been worthwhile for the victor. Q. Quagmire a difficult or complicated situation. Quaint attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Quandary a state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. Quell, put an end to a rebellion or other disorder, typically by the use of force. Querulous, complaining in a petulant or whining manner. Quiescent, in a state or period of inactivity or dormancy. Quixotic, exceedingly idealistic, unrealistic and impractical. Rancorous, characterized by bit.
Superfluous. Refute, prove a statement or theory to be wrong or false, disprove. Relegate, consign or dismiss to an inferior rank or position. Relinquish, voluntarily cease to keep or claim, give up. Renaissance, the revival of art, literature, and learning in Europe in the 14th–17th centuries. Renegade, a person who deserts and betrays an organization, country, or set of principles. Reprieve, cancel or postpone the punishment of someone, especially someone condemned to death. Reproach, address someone in such a way as to express disapproval or disappointment. Reprobate, an unprincipled person. Resolute, admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering. Resplendent, attractive and impressive through being richly colorful or sumptuous. Restive, unable to keep still or silent and becoming increasingly difficult to control, especially because of impatience, dissatisfaction, or boredom. Reticent, not revealing one's thoughts or feelings readily. Reverent, feeling or showing deep and solemn respect. Rhetoric, the art of effective or persuasive speaking or writing, especially the use of figures of speech and other compositional techniques. Ribald, referring to sexual matters in an amusingly rude or irreverent way. Risible, such as to provoke laughter, absurd. Rudimentary, involving or limited to basic principles. Rueful, expressing sorrow or regret, especially when in a slightly humorous way. Ruminant, an even-toed ungulate mammal that chews the cud regurgitated from its rumen. Rustic, relating to the countryside, rural. Sagacious, having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, shrewd. Salient, most noticeable or important. Salubrious, health-giving, healthy. Sanguine, optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Sardonic, grimly mocking or cynical. Sartorial, relating to tailoring, clothes, or style of dress. Savant, a learned person, especially a distinguished scientist. Scapegoat, a person who is blamed for the wrongdoings, mistakes, or faults of others. Scintillating, sparkling or shining brightly, brilliantly and excitingly clever or skillful. Scurrilous, making or spreading scandalous claims about someone with the intention of damaging their reputation. Sedentary, tending to spend much time seated, somewhat inactive. Seditious, inciting or causing people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Serendipity, the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. Serene, calm, peaceful, and untroubled, tranquil. Serrated, having or denoting a jagged edge, saw-like. Sesquipedalian, of a word polysyllabic long. Shibboleth, a custom, principle, or belief distinguishing a particular class or group of people. Especially a long-standing one regarded as outmoded or no longer important. Sibilant, making or characterized by a hissing sound. Soporific, tending to induce drowsiness or sleep. Sordid, involving ignoble actions and motives arousing moral distaste and contempt. Spatiotemporal, relating. Hardship without showing their feelings or complaining, relating to the philosophy of Stoicism. Strident, loud and harsh, grating. Sublime, of such excellence, grandeur, or beauty as to inspire great admiration or awe. Subterfuge, deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. Succinct, especially of something written or spoken briefly and clearly expressed. Suffuse, gradually spread through or over. Supercilious, behaving or looking as though one thinks one is superior to others. Supplant, supersede and replace. Surreptitious, kept secret, especially because it would not be approved of. Sycophant, a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. Syllogism, an instance of a form of reasoning in which a conclusion is drawn from two given or assumed propositions' premises, each of which shares a term with the conclusion, and shares a common or middle term not present in the conclusion, e.g. all dogs are animals, all animals have 4 legs, therefore all dogs have 4 legs. Synchronous, occurring at the same time, coinciding in time. Synthesis, the combination of ideas to form a theory or system. Syrupy, of a liquid thick and sweet. Sycamore, a type of deciduous tree with broad leaves, often planted for ornament. Symbiotic, involving interaction between two different organisms living in close physical association. Symposium, a conference or meeting to discuss a particular subject. Synonym, a word or phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. Synopsis, a brief summary or general survey of something. Sycamore, a type of deciduous tree with broad leaves, often planted for ornament.
Taciturn, of a person reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. Tautology, the saying of the same thing twice in different words, generally considered to be a fault of style. Temerity, excessive confidence or boldness, audacity. Tempestuous, characterized by strong and turbulent or conflicting emotion. Tenacious, tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely. Tenuous, very weak or slight, very slender or fine, insubstantial. Terse, sparing in the use of words, abrupt. Therapeutic, relating to the healing of disease, producing a beneficial effect on the body or mind. Thespian, relating to drama and acting, an actor or actress. Timorous, showing or suffering from nervousness, fear, or a lack of confidence. Tirade, a long, angry speech of criticism or accusation. Trepidation, a feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. Truncate, shorten something by cutting off the top or end. Turgid, swollen and distended or congested of language or style, tediously pompous or bombastic. Turpitude, depravity, wickedness. Tyro, a beginner or novice. Ubiquitous, present, appearing, or found everywhere. Ulterior, existing beyond what is obvious or admitted, intentionally hidden. Umbrage, offense or annoyance. Unctuous, excessively flattering or ingratiating, oily or greasy. Undermine, damage or weaken someone or something, especially gradually or insidiously. Undulate, move with a smooth wave-like motion, have a wavy form or outline. Unilateral, performed by or affecting only one person, group, or country involved in a particular situation, without the agreement of others. Unmitigated, absolute, unqualified. Unscrupulous, having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair. Unwieldy, difficult to carry or move because of its size, shape, or weight. Uproarious, characterized by or provoking loud noise or uproar, hilarious. Usurp, take a position of power or importance illegally or by force. Vacillate, alternate or waver between different opinions or actions, be indecisive. Vagary, an unexpected and inexplicable change in a situation or in someone's behavior. Vapid, offering nothing that is stimulating or challenging, bland. Variegated, exhibiting different colors, especially as irregular patches or streaks. Vehement, showing strong feeling, forceful, passionate, or intense. Venerate, regard with great respect, revere. Venial, denoting a sin that is not regarded as depriving the soul of divine grace. Veracity, conformity to facts, accuracy. Verdant, of countryside, green with grass or other rich vegetation, inexperienced or unsophisticated. Verbose, using or expressed in more words than are needed. Vexatious, causing or tending to cause annoyance, frustration, or worry. Vicarious, experienced in the imagination through the feelings or actions of another person. Vignette, a brief evocative description, account, or episode. A small illustration or portrait photograph that fades into its background without a definite border. Vilif. Wane of the moon, have a progressively smaller part of its visible surface. Illuminated, so that it appears to decrease in size, of a state or feeling, decrease in vigor, power, or extent, become weaker. Wanton, of a cruel or violent action, deliberate and unprovoked, especially of a woman sexually immodest or promiscuous. Wary, feeling or showing caution about possible dangers or problems. Wistful, having or showing a feeling of vague or regretful longing. Wry, using or expressing dry, especially mocking, humor. Wunderkind, a person who achieves great success when relatively young. Xenophobia, dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries. Xeric, characterized by or adapted to a dry habitat. Xylography, the art of engraving on wood, or of printing from such engravings. Yearning, a feeling of intense longing for something. Yen, a strong desire or longing for something. Yoke, a wooden crosspiece that is fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to the plow or cart that they are to pull a burden or oppressive force. Yore, of long ago or former times, especially in a literary or romanticized context. Yowl, a loud, wailing cry. Zealot, a person who is fanatical and uncompromising in pursuit of their religious, political, or other ideals. Zenith, the time at which something is most powerful or successful, the highest point reached by a celestial or other object. Zephyr, a soft, gentle breeze. Zeitgeist, the defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown by the ideas and beliefs of the time. Zest, great enthusiasm and energy. Zigzag, a line or course having abrupt alternate right and left turns, move or proceed in a zigzag course. Zinger, a witty, often caustic remark or retort, a surprise or shock, especially an unpleasant one.